The smiley face killer theory that connects 40 college students. This. The smiley face killer may or may not be a killer or a group of killers who've murdered at least 3 dozen drunken white college males, dumped their bodies in waterways, and taunted police by drawing a smiley face near the crime scene. For now, it remains only a theory and has not yet to be proven. Is a shadowy but organized cannibal a series of killers responsible for murdering 40 or so drunken white college-age males and then dump their cadavers in waterways to wash away the physical evidence? And are these demented and demonic bastards taunting police by drawing a smiley face near what they send the bodies to a watery grave? Should we as Americans generally, but more specifically the drunken white college-age males among us, be very, very afraid? Or is the smiley face killer's theory simply some implausible grandiose delusion concocted by a pair of attentive, starred former police detectives who've woven a fairy tale around what most experts insist is a string of accidental and unrelated drownings? In other words, is the theory for real or just for really dumb? Either way, it is stubbornly persistent. It won't die no matter how many people try to kill it. In 2008, retired New York police detective Frank Gannon and Anthony Duarte went public with what many have dismissed as a cockamamie theory. They claim that starting around 1997 and stretching across 11 states from New York to Minnesota, more than 3 dozen waterlogged corpses that have been drenched from rivers, lakes, and ponds share too many similarities for it to be all coincidental. 1. Almost without exception, victims were white college-age males who Gannon and Duarte described as athletic, good-looking, and academically successful. They theorized that the perpetrator was possibly clumsy, ugly, and dumb, and therefore motivated by envy. The victims all had been spotted at local bars or parties getting drunk on the evening they disappeared. In at least a dozen cases, smiley faces were found painted near where the detectives determined the bodies had been dropped in the water. Nearly all of these alleged drowning victims were discovered in frigid northern climates during the winter months, a bolstering, shrieking climate scenario in which even the drunkest of frat dubros might hesitate to wander near a body of water. Yet there's certainly similar patterns of alcohol-related drownings in much warmer southern states, even in summertime. Since summer, the disappearance occurred even on the same nights in different states. The detectives concluded that a well-structured organization of killers were responsible. Nearly all of the alleged smiley-face murder cases are still classified as accidental drownings, but at least 2 of them were eventually determined to be homicides. 20-year-old Patrick McNeil was last spotted drinking with friends at Manhattan's Dapper Dog Bar one night in February of 1997. His corpse was dragged out of the East River 2 months later, 12 miles away. He was found floating in the water face up, which is extremely rare for drowning victims. An autopsy revealed ligature marks around his neck. His groin area skipped this part if they easily nauseated. Showed horsefly larvae that had to been laid on his body indoors in warm water conditions. In other words, McNeil was dead before he hit the water, and although he'd been missing for 2 months when his body was found, in the absence of what known as skin slippage under his feet indicated that he'd been in the water for less than a day. Number 2, on Halloween night, 2002, 21-year-old University of Minnesota student Chris Jenkins was last seen being kicked out of a Minneapolis bar. 4 months later, his body was found encased in ice in the Mississippi River, faced up with his hands folded across his chest. Again, not the typical position for a drowning victim. Despite its glimmering sheen of wackiness, some experts support the smiley face theory. According to forensic pathologist Dr. Sarah Winch, the statistics are so stacked against the number of young men, Caucasian males, found in bodies of water in that cluster of states within that period of time, that it's almost mathematically impossible for these indications to be unrelated. Professor Lee Gilbertson, a nationally acclaimed criminologist from Minnesota's South Cloud State University, originally dismissed the theory as an urban legend. After scrutinizing the evidence, though, he unabashedly declared that the Smiley Face Killers were a real nationwide organization that reveals in killing young men. I need some coffee. That was a lot to say. Delicious. It's nothing about waking up with coffee in your cup. I know that's not how that goes, but not everyone drinks the same coffee. Despite such support, Gannon, Duarte, and other goofy little theories have legends of critical criminal profile. Pat Brown calls the theory ludicrous, absolutely insane, and notes that smiley faces are one of the most common forms of graffiti. It's not an unusual symptom. If you look in an area 5 miles square, I bet you can find a smiley face. Which is true. 2008, the FBI issued a press release claiming that we have not developed any evidence to point links between these tragic deaths and any evidence sustaining the theory that these deaths are work of a serial killer or killers. The vast majority of these incidents appear to be alcohol-related drownings. Okay, hold up, wait a minute, let me put my thought in it. Okay, just listen here, okay. I don't know if y'all ever seen 13 Reasons Why. Okay, in the very end, I don't know if you guys have not seen it yet, or still watching it, or just haven't caught up to the spot yet and you need to, just skip over it, okay? Skip over this little part. I don't want to ruin anything. So, I'll let y'all do that now. Okay, we done it? If not, here we are. Okay, 13 Reasons Why. There were seniors in high school, right? This kid we all know that frat kids are no good. Especially the ones that are gonna rape somebody, all they care about is themselves and drinking. Well, la-di-da, this kid raped somebody, he got away with it. Pretty much, he was just an asshole to everybody because he was a rich college kid. He was white, of course. And this is about actually around the same times when all this kept happening, I guess you can say it. Because, let me see. Yeah, because 2002 and all the way up to 2010, whatnot. I mean, this has been going on for a while. So, anyways, he got beat up, broke his arms and legs, but of course nobody wants to beat a kid up, so they just drowned him. And so, rich college kid, white male, was pretty much drowned. So, I don't know if that's just a weird thought in my brain, or if that's a coincidence that happened that way too. But, here we are. Welcome back, and here we are if you skipped over that last part, or here we are if, you continuously to listen. 2008, the FBI issued a press release claiming that we have not developed any evidence to support links between these tragic deaths or any evidence sustaining the theory that these deaths are work of a serial killer or killers. The vast majority of these instances appear to be alcohol-related drownings. Blah, blah, blah. We got that. 2010, the Center of Homicide Research released a document called Drowning the Smiley Face Murder Theory that outlines 18 reasons they feel it's false. Among these points are none of the smiley face exactly matched one another. There was no evidence of victim drama, and these drownings don't fit a serial killer motive. Okay, nobody knows if someone pretty much put a group together, Facebook Messenger or some dark web shit, and decided to, kill everybody. Because I think it was back in the day when multiple people would get together and start killing, like, all black people, or all white people, or all rich people. Like there was an episode on SVU where there was copycats all over. Like, There was multiple people that, raped certain women, or they had this hair color or this eye color, some Anne Frank shit, Nobody ever knows. Gannon, who once claimed to have mortgaged his house so he could pursue his Smiley Face investigation, seemed to have stopped researching the case sometime around 2012. He and Duarte have recently moved on to more lucrative cases. Some surviving parents or alleged Smiley Face victims have also expressed doubts about the former detective motives for ever making a big public stink about their theory. When Bill's son died in Albany, New York, it was clarified as a drowning, although he still says he thinks it's murder. But he's utterly disenchanted with Detective Gannon. I feel Kevin is like a sponge. He lunches on families, such the lifespan out of them. And when he has nothing else to suck, he dumps them. Do I think he has victimized families and done more harm than good? Yes, I do. And that's a shame. Despite all this, the Smiley Face theory persists. It was invoked after 2012 disappearance of Northwestern University student. Floating corns was found near Smiley Face graffiti on a tree. It was invoked by Black Wisconsin columnists after a young white male's body is found in Milwaukee River, according to Eugene Kane on Milwaukee.com. I have been warned in the past not to talk about a secret killer, white man in Wisconsin who prey on drunken college males in order to find a way to drown them in the river. I'm still intrigued why black males who drink a lot don't end up in the river, and why a particular racial angle seldom gets discussed. Did I not say that earlier? I did! Most recently, the Smiley Face killer theory was invoked in February 2015 in regards to a reputing drowning death of 20-year-old Shane Montgomery, who had last been seen drinking with friends the day before Thanksgiving, but whose body wasn't found until right before Christmas. If I had a venue, I guess, I'd say the theory is wrong. At most, its properties may have unwittingly spurred out one or two copycat murders. Said that already, thank you! By some bored dimwits in frozen Midwest. Otherwise, it's mostly coincidence. But the myth lingers to feed the oddly persistent, almost a universal human need to be terrified. What the truth is, it's obvious that somebody is fucking with us and smiling about it. Very funny.